Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bargain Counter Argument, Sock Marionette, Lady in a Tiara, hosting a live stream, and this is Stormy. Say hi to the people, Stormy, please.
Hey, everybody.
Let me see if I can. I'm having trouble hearing you, so I have a new laptop. And I'm hoping I have a better quality microphone than I did on the old one. And better quality camera as well, I believe, which maybe having a bad camera. Wait.
It could just be me. Do I need to speak up?
No, I think it was, I had my volume turned kind of down. Anyway, yes, so it could be that a crappy camera was actually doing me some favors. Maybe I'll have to start wearing foundation again. Woohoo! And we have some people saying hello already. Good morning, says Kristen Lee, because she is on the West Coast. She's all fancy pants. And so she says, hi, Kristen. I am up to date on our buddy read. We're buddy reading some mafia romance. And it's like this Polish mafia dude whose name is Miko, short for Mikolai, or, whatever the Polish equivalent of Michael is. And all while I'm reading it, all I can think of, this guy's name is Mike. It's Mike. Mike the Psycho. And Lisa Lost Coffee Mug is here saying, and Susan's here. Good afternoon, all, she says. Good afternoon, Susan. Nice to have you join us. Barkity, barkity. Barkity ladies, says Silly. Wyoming on behalf of Silly. Wyoming is the human, Silly is the dog.
Oh, okay.
And you can see Silly the dog in the avatar. She's a Shih Tzu mix.
Oh, I'm a Shih Tzu mix too.
Silly is the cutest. There's even a picture somewhere of Silly wearing a tiara, as all dogs should. And people too. And Kristen says she's starting today's chapter, or chapters, because we're reading 3 at a time. Maury is here saying good morning, everyone. She's also on the West Coast. I believe she's in Oregon. So how are you doing today? Oh, one more comment. And Anita's here. Hey, girls, how you doing today? Hey, everyone in chat. Hey, Anita. How are you? How are you, Stormy?
I am good. I barely got up here in time. I told Dad, I was like, I'm going to go up here and hang out with Sock for a little bit. And do some book hauling, because I got books to be book hauling.
Ooh, are you doing this as a video, or are you going to haul them here on the live show?
I'm going to do it as a video. I figured that's what I can do when y'all are like sprinting.
Yeah, I thought about maybe recording a video during the sprints, but I don't know.
My first book haul is going to be Heather Graham, because I have a whole box.
Oh, that's what Lizzie Faye dropped off. Elizabeth, yeah. Heather Graham, Shannon Drake.
Yeah, and it's funny because the lady that gave me 2 bags of books the same day Lizzie gave me 2 boxes of books gave me another bag of books today. So I have lots of hauling to do. So I'm like, I better get started. Because the space I have on my phone, I can only do so much at a time. So it'll probably be about 3 book haul videos.
Nice. With content. It's all grist for the mill. And Anita says, today I'm reading Marked by PC Cast, and I'm reading Honeymooners Can Be Knocked Off by Amanda Flower. Is it Flower or Fowler?
Flower.
Flower, okay. And
I would
Anita says,
call it flowers, but it's flower. For some reason.
And she says it's actually Newlyweds Can Be Knocked Off rather than Honeymooners. Sorry for the wrong title. At least it's not Newlyweds Can Be Knocked Up. Although, yeah, that'll happen too.
That would be a romance, not a cozy mystery.
Well, it can be both. Where they go to get the ultrasound or to get the first checkup, or she thinks she's pregnant, so they go to get the pregnancy test, and then a nurse or somebody, an orderly, some patient or something, comes to a rough end, and they've got to figure it out because they want to make sure that they feel comfortable about the clinic that they are going to or the practice that they're going to. So they're like, is this like a haven of murder and mayhem, or is this like a safe place for us to go for prenatal and natal care? Lisa says, we were trying to go through all the Heather Graham books my sister has this weekend. Ooh. And Anita thinks she likes that. She wants to read Newlyweds Can Be Knocked Up. She wants to read that. She thinks it sounds like a good read.
Unless I've bought some Heather Graham books since the last time I sent Elizabeth my list of what I did have. They should be all new ones to me. So,
Nice.
It'll all be a surprise because I have no clue what's in there.
I'm looking forward to watching that video. Maury says, I am still working my way through Coming Home by Rosamund Pilcher, and if my eyes need a break, I am listening to Murder at the Lemonberry Tea by Darcy Hannah. The murder is just how good Kelsey's cheesecake is. Where Kelsey is one of the guests. For those of you who are new or would like a reminder, the first sprint is only 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes of yuck in which we can do things that maybe we don't want to do for more than 10 minutes. Clean the bathroom, return phone calls, make phone calls, answer emails, whatever. I did 10 minutes. I did more than 10 minutes of yuck yesterday. I'm trying to clean out the attic. And I have gotten down to the final boss, the really big cardboard boxes that are filled with styrofoam. And I was trying to get them into my car to take them to the recycling center. There's a truck outside making a noise. And I was trying to, and as I was walking in the driveway with all this styrofoam, a breeze blew up.
Oh no.
So I had to chase styrofoam everywhere. Down the lawn, down the driveway, into the neighbor's lawn. I had to call out. I went and knocked on the window so that Mom Marionette could come outside and put her foot down on the cardboard. I mean, on the styrofoam, so that while I was chasing down the stuff that got away, no more would get away. And there may have been some cussing involved. Possibly. Anyway, that was more than 10 minutes of yuck. And so today I'm going to do, not yuck, but I need to update my planners and my journals because I didn't do it yesterday. So I'm just going to do administrative stuff during the 10 minutes. We have a comment. Whoops, skipped over Kristen Lee. The attic. The attic, I have half of the attic has these, it's very sloped. It's not very much room to stand up. A few places you can. And then on one side of the attic, there are these cross beams, which are, so I have to have yeah, exactly. I have to have ceiling awareness while I'm in that section of the attic. And of course, that's where all the boxes were. And ceiling and awareness doesn't come naturally to me because I'm not used to, And so yesterday I was doing all of this ceiling awareness, and while I'm paying so much attention to not knocking my head on these cross beams, I stubbed my foot on a hazard on the floor.
Oh no.
So it's just I need to get one of those crawlers like mechanics use and just roll myself around. Marie says, Marie says, I have been so sucked into the beautiful weather we are having, making myself just lay on my back and give it a rest feels like something I don't want to do, but really need to. Literally, touch grass, go outside, roll around in the grass. You'll love it. 10 minutes of that, and you will feel like a new person.
They say that's really good for you to take your shoes off and touch grass. It's really good.
Exactly. And Kristen says, wants to know how is Princess Hobblefoot. Princess Hobblefoot is doing remarkably well for all of the unscheduled running in unsuitable shoes I did up and down the driveway. And I think she was just thinking, well, at least it's not stairs. So she's doing surprisingly well. It makes me feel like I can maybe try more activities than I had been willing to try before. Emily Lash in the library is here. Hi, everyone. She says, hi. That came out really weird. I don't know what that was. Murray says, LOL, I can see you zipping madly about on one of those in your attic. Yes. Yeah, that would be, I could motorize it. It's 40 degrees here in New Jersey today. Oh, I don't know what it is here in Connecticut. It's probably similar. We're not so far apart, globally speaking. Okay, it says 46 in Manchester because the internet always thinks I'm in Manchester, which is over the river and through the woods, pretty much literally from where I am. But, might be a little warmer here or a little cooler.
72 and windy here.
What did you say, 72?
Yeah, and very windy.
Yeah, it's been pretty breezy, hence my styrofoam encounter. It's here 61 here, but super windy. Wow, everybody's getting the wind. Marie says, LOL, getting myself to be inside is the trick. Well, you can take your little device outside and, there'll be enough glare that you won't be able to see anything, but maybe you could hear, especially now if I have a better onboard mic. I've been watching all of the Artemis coverage the past week. It's been so fun, says Emily. Nice. Okay, so the 10 minutes of yuck in which you can do catching up on comments. As for reading, I should be finishing the unselected journals of M.M. Lyon, Volume 1 during sprints today. Ooh, I don't know that book.
I have seen that going around. Is like somebody doing like some read along or whatever. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, Emily, if you don't mind, let us know.
Because that Emma M. Lyon, I've like heard that several different booktubers talk about that.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to work on administrative stuff that's not particularly yucky, but like I said, I had that yesterday, so yeah, Lisa wants to know if that's a new book. So if you don't mind updating us when we come back, that would be lovely. Or we could look it up ourselves, but where's the fun in that? Okay, so we're going to go until 21 minutes past the hour. Oops. I need to edit it before I show it. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, I think. And here is an image of me chasing styrofoam down the driveway. I think you're still muted, Stormy.
I said that's cute.
Thank you. Yes. She's, yeah. Although there was considerably less smiling involved. And a lot of cussing. Okay. Let's see. Comments we have. Emily says, oh, I can take this off. How do I do this? Remove. Nice. It's a historical fiction, says Emily. YA series. It's on Kindle Unlimited. I believe there's 8 books in the series so far. Set in 1880s London. Ooh. LOL, says Kristen. And Lisa's giggling. And Anita said, I read chapter and I agree with Storm. That's a cute picture. I'm sure it was very adorable. While I'm like chasing the styrofoam into my neighbor's yard to retrieve it, she comes out. And I'm like, hi, Jeannie. The styrofoam got away from me. And she says, oh, that's happened to me. It's such a pain. I was like, okay, at least you know why I'm running around your yard like a fool. So, did you have a nice 10 minutes?
Yeah, I decided to work on my Q1 series thing so that I can make that video at some point. I get them put all on like a Canva and like a presentation thing, like I do some of my videos. That way I can just be like, I read this book and this book and this book and this book.
Boom, boom. I got warm. This is a very small room, and my light still has an incandescent bulb in it. I'm not going to replace it until it actually dies. You know, there's no point in throwing away something that works. But it does make the room a little on the warm side. So I worked on my planners and stuff. This week, it's yellow on the planner.
Oh, cool.
Last week, it was, I believe, pale green.
I feel like if I was to do journaling like that or whatever it is, I would have to do it like you do with stickers. I would have to buy a whole bunch of different kinds of stickers because I don't have the patience to do all the drawing. It takes too much time whenever you see all those people make those. But I think I like it the way you do yours with like the stickers. It's really
yeah, I'm doing the stickers because I'm not very confident in my drawing abilities. I've never really had I have an artistic vision, but I don't have like the skills to execute. So
I used to be really good at that. I used to be really good at drawing, but it's like one of those things. If you don't keep up with it, you kind of get really rusty, and I'm very, very rusty.
It was never anything that I managed to develop that well. I do the same thing with my whatchamacallit, reading journal. It's sitting right in front of me, and I'm like, it's the whatchamacallit. Like, this is Deep Waters by Jessica R. Patch, which is about a marine life veterinarian. And the plot involves, that's love-inspired suspense. And the plot involves animal smuggling revolving around turtles and turtle eggs. So that's why I did it that way. Yeah, I had some nice stickers for that.
That's why I'm like, I think that would be cute. If I was to try to do like a journal type thing or whatever, that's how I would probably have to do it because it's just, I don't want to take the time out to draw because that just takes a lot of time and I'm not super good at it. And I'm a perfectionist when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I would be erasing probably more than drawing. And
then that's something I'm trying to let go of is like trying not to be such a perfectionist. And it's like whenever I'm, especially when I'm doing housework, I'm like, the goal is improvement, not perfection. Let's see if I can find. Anyway, so I use stickers in that as well, and it's fun. Marie says, I have been drooling over all those beautiful sticker books with all the nature stickers. Yeah, there's some really nice ones. And Kristen says, I want to junk journal my cookbooks. Ooh, fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
Lisa says that's why I like digital journal to get cute images, etc. But I always ended up not doing it, so now I have been physical. Yeah, I just kind of was in the mood to be analog, I guess. And then the other thing I updated. So yes, so this week is yellow because last week, as I was getting ready to set this up, I saw the first daffodils of spring, which were nice and bright yellow. And then earlier this week, I saw forsythia, which is bright yellow and it's just going nuts all over my neighborhood. So I was like, I'm always happy to see it because that means spring is really here. Excuse me, spring is really here. And it's so cheerful. And I especially like the color combination of gray and yellow. So when you have a gray spring day with yellow forsythia, it's just, to me, that just looks so beautiful. It's just like, it pleases me much. And I updated my reading log. This is where I keep track of time spent reading. And the different colors just represent, like, the pink, that's for library books. And the purple is for online reading, like fan fiction or whatever. The blue is for books that I own. And then there's a little bit of gray, and that's for Kindle Unlimited. I haven't read any ARCs so far, so I haven't assigned a color for ARCs yet.
You did
I might not.
Fan fiction reading then. I've seen a lot of purple.
Yeah?
I said you did quite a bit of fan fiction reading. It looks like I've seen a lot of purple.
Well, actually, yesterday there was quite a bit of fan fiction. There was also quite a bit of long-form journalism and journalism in general because I was trying to keep an eye on what in the world is going on because, it's it's a stressful time to be a resident of this planet, really. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. You don't have to have a personal connection to feel alarmed about what's going on. But I actually did live in Tehran for like a year and a half. And so it's such a beautiful place. And I was, anyway, enough about that. Reading, Danielle, Elle's books. Danielle is here. Danielle Dodson, if you want to watch her on YouTube. Reading Off Limits, Doc on Deck by Luna De Rosa. Oh, that's the one I was like picturing Bernie Coppell as the doctor on the Love Boat. What was his name? Doc. I don't remember the character's name. Yeah. I remember the actor's name. I keep wanting to say Doc Severinsen, who was a real person who was band leader.
I should watch some episodes of Love Boat for old school.
Doc something. Anyway, the actor's name was Bernie Coppell. He was also on Inspector Gadget and as a voice actor, and he was on Get Smart. And she's starting Disaster Around the Bend by Lynn Halliday, a Christian middle grade on NetGalley. Nice. I love your journal spreads, Sock, says Emily Lost in the Library. She and Megan of Megan's Book Nook co-host an Anne of Green Gables read-along. So I post my Anne of Green Gables diary journal entries.
So that's why everybody's reading that one Anne of Green Gables book that I'd seen kind of going around.
I didn't do one for the most recent one we read was Anne of Ingleside. I didn't do one for that, but I did this one for Anne's House of Dreams.
I need to read book 2 in the Anne of Green Gables. I have read book 1 of Anne of Green Gables, but I haven't continued on. I need to read the second one.
And somewhere in here I have Anne. I think the first one I joined them for was Anne of Avonlea, which was the third book. Here it is. Or Anne of the Island. Anne of Avonlea, I guess, was the second one, and Anne of the Island. There's a gravestone because she goes away to college, and she and her friends find this very peaceful cemetery, and they like going there to hang out. So that's why there's a gravestone. It wasn't particularly morbid. I got some kitchen cleaning and sweeping done during the sprint. Nice. So yeah, I got my journals updated and stuff, and I don't know what I'm going to do today during the sprint. I have an update on those books. Remember, I started with 6. I read 3. One was a DNF. Like, it went sailing across the room. And this one I decided I'm not going to read at this time. See, now that I'm hoping a better onboard camera, maybe people can see the titles a little bit better. This was Summer Storms by Stephanie Sinclair, noted DEI mobster of the early 20th century. She was a woman of color who was also an organized crime boss. So, yes. And she got there by merit. It was not affirmative action. Anyway, I decided not to read this for now because it was just like, it starts off with the characters bickering, and I was like, it's just not going to get any less bickery, and I wasn't in the mood for that. I did finish Deceptive Love by Anne N. Ricer. This was the one about the chick who she's very beautiful, and she's very accomplished. Like, she's an administrative assistant. She's really good at it. She speaks a number of languages and so on. And she's very beautiful, and she keeps going to jobs and getting, like, basically harassed in the workplace. And so she goes to the new job and decides that she's going to just, like, get really dowdy. And, of course, her boss, what happens is the guy who had been harassing her at her old workplace, who wasn't her boss there, he was her boss's son, he shows up, finds her, and starts stalking her again while he's engaged to her boss's sister. So her boss, the sister calls the boss, and she's stealing my boyfriend, and she's kind of a piece of work. And so he brings her from the guy she works for within his company up into his executive suite with his other secretaries, and he's like trying to figure out, well, she's like really drab and boring, and why does everybody like her so much? And then he starts to realize, oh, well, if you took away her glasses, which don't seem to be prescription, and maybe got her into some more flattering outfits, and then he's like, oh, she's choosing unflattering outfits on purpose, not because she doesn't know any better, but because she does. Anyway, so he ends up trying to romance her.
Like Clark Kent, if you take off the glasses.
Yes. Hey, Jill. Jill's here. I hope you're having a beautiful day where you are, as we are where I am. And she says, it feels like winter here in Mass. Oh, wow. Feels like spring here. Usually we have the same weather or close enough. Anyway, so she's being stalked by the old guy and kind of stalked by the new guy. And it's just like, it was kind of fun, but at the same time, this is from 1983, I want to say? 1981. So it turns out that the main problem isn't that this guy is stalking her. It's that she's not attracted to him. Otherwise, it would be perfectly fine, as proved by her. And at one point, there's a confrontation between the guy she's into and the guy she's not into. And the guy she's not into is like, Carrie, I'll marry you still. Don't you understand? You're my woman. And the guy she is into says, shut up, Van Meter, because that's the guy's name. So I keep thinking of Kimberly Van Meter every time I read that. Shut up, Van Meter. Oh, I should do the voices, shouldn't I? Shut up, Van Meter. Dane snarled savagely. She's not your woman. She was never your woman. He lifted Carrie's hand, and the blazing diamond scintillated with a life of its own. She is my woman, and she'll be my wife as soon as her parents... And it's like, so the problem wasn't that people were considering her a possession. It was just that the wrong person was considering her a possession.
It still sounds like a fun book, though.
It was. I enjoyed it, and Anne N. Ricer has. I kind of gave it a low rating, but I was in a grumpy mood. And Anne N. Ricer's a good writer, and it was just kind of like, it's like instead of saying she's not your woman, she's her own person, and she chose not you. He's like, she's not your woman, she's mine. So it's like, yeah, okay.
Sometimes they think that they're protecting the woman by saying she's mine whenever the woman's like
no, based on his other actions, that's actually is his attitude. But it's just like he could have.
That's why I said he could have worded it a little bit differently.
Huh?
Could have worded it a little bit differently.
Yeah, well, he could have had a slightly different attitude, basically. But it is 1981, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, this was just something to give people something to think about that wasn't, who shot JR? Actually, I think Who Shot JR was maybe 1980. I don't know. Jill says, went to get my completed taxes. Nice. Then went to New England Coffee Company. I'm able to get different flavored coffees there, and they grind the beans. Nice. Well, if it's a wintry kind of day, that must have been a nice treat. And I know that your taxes are done, so you
Really
that's
cool
done.
that you can go to a place and get coffee like that and grounded coffee. I mean, that's one thing about living like out here where I do. Like they don't have things like that.
So as for what I'm going to do today, like I said, I thought about recording a video, and then that's not happening. I do have another stack of Candlelight Ecstasy romances I can go through.
Awesome.
I also have, if I want to take it easier, I could do what I did last week and like go through and read the first chapter of each one and decide which ones I'm actually going to read and which ones I'm not. And, or I could just, I don't know. I could just skip that this week and read this. I'm reading, Just for the Cameras by Megan Quinn, which is kind of fun, although the guy is just like so grumpy. It's like, how are you going to come back from this? He's going to tell everybody, she's my woman now. Ha, JR, says Marie. I started thinking of the movie 9 to 5. Ooh, 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. It's all taking and no giving. Emily says, I've never agreed more. Oh, I found this, you know how you avoid the center aisle at Aldi, the junk aisle? Well, I was there looking for a specific thing that they were supposed to have that they didn't. I was like, did you sell out? And she's like, I don't know that we ever actually got that item. But when I was looking, I saw this on a shelf. And I think I showed her during Sarah's stream too. And she was just sitting on a shelf by herself. She didn't have a tag. I mean, she has like the tag that's stitched onto her, but she didn't have any other tags. So when the Aldi employee who was helping me look for the other item, I was like, and also, is this an Aldi product, or was it just like some poor kid left her favorite stuffy behind? So the lady looks it up and she goes, oh yeah, she's one of ours. And here's a code so that you can, for the checkout. So she came home with me because she's so cute. And look, she has little ballet shoes. But I need to name her. She needs a name. She can't go around not having a name. So I was hoping maybe people could help come up with a name for this cute little ballet dancing elephant. Jill says I finished.
That's it.
What?
Elephant.
Huh?
Ella the elephant.
Ella. Well, I anticipated that somebody might suggest Ellie, but I already have an Ellie. This is Ellie. She comes, but Ella, we don't have an Ella, I don't think. Ellie comes from the gift shop in the basement of a church in Boston. And I got her around this time of year back in like 2004. So. Oh, so cute. A heffalump. Indeed. A dancing heffalump. Twinkle toes. And Kristen says, yay, we get to see who you saved from Aldi. That elephant is adorable, says Anita. Agreed. Ellie the elephant says, we already have Ellie the lamb, so. Nessa from Stolen Hair. That's the book, the mafia romance that Kristen and I are buddy reading. And Jill says, yeah, how about Ellie? Yeah, again, that I anticipated that Ellie, because Ellie's a great name for an elephant. It really is. But Eva or Ava, Emma, we don't have either of those. Though Nessa from Stolen Air is kind of a good one. Emma is good. Oh, we have 2 votes for Emma now. It's close to my real name, but not actually my real name, so that's good. Because believe it or not, Sock's not my real name. Although I was named for my great aunt Sock. Uh, I did grab this stack. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you how I got on. Yeah, I already did tell you how I got on with this book.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. I might send it along to you because I enjoyed it, but I don't think I enjoyed it enough to keep it, and I think you would probably like it. So,
It sounds fun.
huh?
I said it sounds fun.
It is. It is. I might send it with the companion book because there was another book where she where she's a hot secretary who turns herself into a dowdy secretary. I kind of made sure I read them apart, but they were thematically matched. That was the one that was by. Oh, I meant to show it. Who was it by? It was by Diana Blaine, who turns out to also be Diana Palmer.
Oh, cool.
So that was the other one, though. I didn't bring it over to show, but yeah. I was like, maybe she's also famous under a different name, like Rachel Ryan, Sandra Brown, and so on. And it was Diana Palmer. So I have here. Are we ready for this?
Yes.
Stages of Love by Beverly Summers. He is in a suit, so I'm guessing it's another harassment suit waiting to happen. Golden Fire, Silver Ice by Marisa de Zavala. Lover from the Sea by Bonnie Drake, aka Barbara Delinsky.
Oh, okay.
And Restoring Love by Suzanne Sherrill. More business casual with the emphasis on casual attire. Relentless Adversary. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle that. By Jane Castle. She's the one who went sailing last time.
Oh no.
I had 2 Jane Castle books, and one of them went sailing, the other one didn't. So, and then Suzanne Simmons, Never as Strangers. I'm guessing it's Second Chance. How about Elena, the Dancing Elephant? Elena, Emma. We had a couple of votes for Emma. Elena's good too. They're all good. Let's see. 2. So that's 6. Let's see. I'll read a couple of summaries and then we can take a whatchamacallit? Sprint. My brain is just not totally online today. So this is Never on Strangers. Let's see if it actually is Second Chance. Elisa. It's Elisa with an E, so maybe it's Elisa the elephant.
Yeah, there you go.
Elisa? Elsie? Elise? Elisa wanted moonlight and roses. She had no use for her stepsister Charlotte's scheming ways. Nor could she understand the young girl's interest in Garth Brandau, a man 15 years her senior. Garth? Are we Canadian? Is this Canadian? Nope, she's from Iowa. Oh, she has traveled extensively throughout the U.S. and Canada. Suzanne Simmons, the author. She lives in Indiana. When I hear Garth, I think, well, partially Wayne's World, but, Okay. Party time, excellent. But when Charlotte suddenly ran off to Europe, when Garth suddenly appeared in Elisa's apartment, when he awoke in the morning to announce their secret engagement, in quotes, to her roommate, Elisa knew things had gone too far, too fast. Garth was handsome, wealthy, successful, everything a practical woman could want. And he played really excellent air guitar. But to Elisa, a hopeless romantic, he was an arrogant stranger who had awakened her passions. If he meant to have her, he would first have to win her heart. Okay, so it's Never as Strangers. It is not actually a Second Chance. Although she, to me, looks like Emma Samms. I don't know if you remember Emma Samms. She was on Dynasty, I think. She's a British actress. She had this very sweet. She's a very sweet-faced brunette. Kind of a sweet heart-shaped face. Kristen knows what I'm talking about. She says, Garth, showing. Or elephantine, suggests Anita. Again, I'm struggling today. It could be elephantine, shortened to Ella.
Yeah.
She's got very thin legs. Must be all the dancing. I hope she doesn't have an eating disorder. That would suck. So that's never as strangers. And let's see what Jane Castle is up to, because we have the dude. He is business up top and a party down below. I thought he had a necktie. It's actually just that his shirt is unbuttoned.
Oh.
So that which I thought was a necktie is skin. But he does have the corduroy blazer and a pair of jeans.
Vandalus got his shirt up.
She's wearing sandals, so her feet are practically bare. I mean, these people, they're just like not fully committed to being dressed. She said from her position wearing her spaghetti strap top. With his jade eyes. Are they jade eyes or jaded eyes? With his jade eyes and jet hair. Locke Channing. Locke?
I love the names.
It's Locke with an E on the end, though. So that's like the most manly of Locks. Locke Channing, and I thought Tatum Channing was a dumb name, made Kelly Winfield weak with desire and dismay. He had the power to ruin her career and break her heart, and the easy assurance of a man who always got his way. I sense a trip to HR. Now that he had been hired to catch a thief at Forrester Stereo, how long would it take him to learn her secret? Gosh, remember when like giant stereo speakers would be something you'd want to steal? He was too close for comfort, to the truth, and to Kelly herself. It was clear that his silence could be purchased for a price. Ooh, sexual extortion. How could she resist this devastating stranger who challenged her to a duel of passion and wits and was moving in for the kill? Kristen has an important question. How sexy are his wrists and her clavicle? Well, check it out. He's using his wrists to move his hand toward her clavicle. Yeah. So it looks like they're both about to find out. Relentless Adversary by Jane Castle. Restoring Love by Suzanne Sherrill. Again, business casual. In her case, very casual and getting more so by the second. One look in those penetrating gray eyes, and Lauren was convinced she could drown in them. 1 moment spent in Leland Cross's company. Leland Cross, wow. Convinced her that he would never lift a hand to save her. She had done the unforgivable, made a fool of the man who made it patently clear he was nobody's fool. Wealthy, powerful, Leland Cross was Charleston's biggest and most volatile developer. I really do enjoy an emotionally volatile real estate developer. That is just, boy, if only somebody like that could become president. Where was I? Lauren was merely a city employee in the planning bureau, a young widow with a small child pitted against a giant of a man who had let her know in no uncertain terms that he wanted her, he wanted to get even, and that he had the ruthless determination to get exactly what he wanted. Yeah, I don't know that I like this guy. I don't know. There's no wrist status. I will read the first chapter to find out about the wrists, because if all he's got is gray eyes, I'm not into it. But if he's got wrists, A Little Lover from the Sea by Bonnie Drake, a.k.a. Bonnie Dolinsky. Marie's like, that one may go flying. That is her prediction. To sum it all up, I see myself stranded with neither past nor future in a small house with a very beautiful woman. Ooh. April Wild. Okay, April Wild. And also the girls can have interesting names. Her heart pounded. Her mind was in a whirl. What was she to make of this handsome, shipwrecked stranger? Marooned in her snug Nantucket home, local, as the hurricane raged on around them, he claimed not to know who he was or where he had come from. This makes me think of Spinal Tap. Nobody knew who they were or where they came from. Da, 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 da. She had dragged him back half dead from the sea and nursed him back to life. But now, as he stood over her, tall, tan, and leanly muscular, it was she who was the helpless one, tossed about on a sensual sea, overcome by a storm of desire that threatened to overwhelm her. Well, and he doesn't know who he is. So, like, can they actually do this thing, or is it just is he like taken? What? I need to know. Golden Fire, Silver Ice by Marisa de Zavala. And this was at one time 50 cents at a garage sale, I think. Mi Preciosa. When you look at on these, remember the afternoon we spent together. The nerve to insinuate intimacy on a card her family was sure to see. Ana Maria looked at his expensive gift with shock and indignation. He had invaded her life with the grace of a jungle animal and the arrogance of a Spanish conquistador. Like a pristine Madonna, her icy reserve had always been impenetrable. Could the words of a stranger crack that composure now? His eyes, lit like topaz jewels, seemed to pierce her heart and touch off a spark of primitive fire, a fire that threatened to blaze wildly beyond control. Ooh. Now, keep in mind that this is before Madonna, the singer, was a thing. Yeah, this is 1981, so. Amnesia, says Kristen. What could go wrong? Oh, hopefully everything. Stages of love. Are these like the stages of grief, do you think? There's anger, bargaining, depression, denial, etc., acceptance. His cool gray eyes and volatile temper. Ooh, more volatility. Should have been warning enough to Lee Masterson, award-winning playwright. It's that kind of stage. I wondered. She was on her way to the top, and her first opportunity had come from Paul Devon, who forgot about her talent the moment he saw her face. Oh boy. Even as she shrank from his gaze, she yearned for his caress. Even as she rebelled at his arrogance, Lee accepted Paul's offer to work and live together until passion and jealousy drove them apart. Still, he was too close for comfort, and she was too near to distraction, only a whisper away from love. And that whisper was, exit stage left. She's a playwright. So those are, I will be reading the first chapter of each during the next sprint. I don't know if I'll get to all of them, but we shall see. And there's been a lot of discourse, not a lot, but some discourse lately about people preferring, on other streams, people have been saying this, that they prefer like a longer sprint, like 45 minutes instead of a half an hour. It just gives them more chance to build up some momentum. So I think we're going to do a 45-minute sprint.
Okay.
So we are going until 40 minutes past the next hour. So, yeah, that would be 3:40 for me, 2:40 for you, etc. But I got to set up the banner.
That should give me enough time to get a video made.
Yeah, 45 minutes is probably a little more helpful. Okay, so we're sprinting until 40 minutes past the hour. And showing that. And I will see you then. We're back. How'd everybody do? Let's see. I'm actually getting a little cool. Stormy, how'd it go? Hello? Lisa says the system at work is starting to slow down. Uh, so, hi, Stormy. You okay? I don't know if she can hear me or not.
I don't hear you.
Oh. Why not? Are you? How about now?
There we are.
Okay. I can hear me through your speakers. Okay, it's fixed now. I don't know what that was, but it's not better. Okay. How is your sprint?
Good. I did my first book haul video. I did all the Heather Grahams. I had 40 Heather Graham books.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a long video.
It actually is not too long because it's like 22 minutes because I try not to talk too much about them and just kind of show them off a little bit.
Was it all Heather Graham as Heather Graham, or were there any Shannon Drakes in there?
There was a couple of Shannon Drakes and then some with her married name, Posier or Posey, however you say that. Heather Graham
Pozzieri.
The big long name.
See, with the Z's and the S's.
Yeah,
it's Italian.
There was a few.
Okay. I almost got through the first chapter of all of these books except Golden Fire Silver Ice by Marisa de Zavala, and that was because I ran out of time when I was about halfway through the first chapter, but I got through all the others. I will update you in a moment. Let's see what everybody else got up to. Marie had lunch, tea, and a chat with my husband while he was on his lunch, and she read a bit. Nice. Anita got to 75%. Nice. Kristen is up to date on Stolen Air and started Hot for You by Marie Hart, a Dollar Tree find, and it's cute firefighter romance. Nice. Oops. Anita is saying, I can hear you both.
Yay.
And Susan's at 91%. Ooh.
So close.
And Anita says, in marked, because she had 2 books going, I think. And Wyoming says, I will be sure to watch your video, Storm. Book hauls are my absolute favorite. Book hauls are fun. Roxy's here. Hello, party people, she says. Hey, Roxy. Do you want to join us on screen? I can send you a link if you want. But if you're just here to stare at us, that's fine too. I know she's working probably. I don't know. I finished. Woohoo! Okay. Wait. How do we do the sound effects?
In like the media thing, that
media assets. Oopsie. Sounds. There's also one called Bounce.
Yeah. Yep.
Heartbeat Fast.
All kinds of fun sounds.
Drumroll bongos. Gong. I'm just thinking of all of those like comedies from the 70s and the 80s where whenever an Asian person would appear on screen, they would play like that kind of gong. And you're like, oh, okay.
That just made me think of the Gong Show.
Let's show. Okay. Anita says, hey, Roxy. Emily says, I'm going to go with 3.5 stars. Okay. Yay to everyone who finished, says Lisa. Roxy says, I'm just here staring at y'all. I look like crap today. I can't let that slow my roll. But I appreciate your being here in whatever capacity you feel comfortable. Yeah. Definitely a book to set up the series, says Emily. Are you going to continue with the series? Roxy says, hey, Anita. Emily says, glad you can join us in the chat, Roxy. I keep trying to like combine the words so that it's just like one long word. Glad you could join us, Troxy. Chat, Roxy. Yeah. Anyway, Anita says, congrats, Emily. Storm created monsters with the sound effects. Okay. LOL, says Roxy. Well, I closed it. Otherwise, I would do another one. But
yeah.
Hey, Emily, says Roxy. Okay, so I am on. Oh, there's something I was totally going to talk about and very much forgot. And that is Passport to Connecticut Libraries. Most of the libraries in Connecticut are participating in this. They do this not every April, but in April some years. And they give you a little passport.
Oh, that's cool.
And you take it to a participating library. And they stamp it for you. And they give you a little gift.
Oh, well, that's cool.
I've only been to 2 so far. Russell Library is my home library here in Middletown, and Durham is the next library south, which is the one my mother goes to the most often because it's like the easiest to get to from where we live. And Durham offered us pencils that have like the name of the library on them and everything, but we declined them because we're not really pencil people, so we already have like a whole bunch left over from previous Passport to Connecticut libraries. So we're just like, yeah, save them for somebody who might get some more use out of them. But at Russell, they gave us each a $2 coupon for their library sale that's going to be in June. I never find anything at their friend's sale. I find things at every friend's sale except for my home library. And our choice of stickers. Mom got one that had a reading dog on it.
Uh-huh.
It's on her phone now. And I got this one. It's a chicken in reading glasses reading a book.
That's cool.
And it says, cluck if you like reading. And I don't know, for some reason when I was standing there and I was describing it at the library to my mom and one of the employees was standing there, I said, it's chicken reading a book. And it says, cluck if you like reading. And they thought that was like the most hilarious thing. I don't know if it was the way I said it or the concept, but yes. Cluck if you like reading.
I have a question. Since you have that where you can go like to various libraries and get that, can you actually check out books from other libraries? Or
this is the exciting thing about being a Connecticut resident. I can check out books from any library in the state.
Okay.
And I can return them to any library in the state. So I can check out I can go down to Stamford, which is like practically New York City. I can check out a book there. I can return it here in town. I don't have to go back to Stamford.
Because like we have like Joplin has a nice library, but it costs, we'd have to get it like out of like the county like library card or whatever, and it's like that sucks. But we can do interlibrary loan with a lot of the and stuff.
But it's not the same as just like browsing and
you can't and get a book. And it's like a half an hour away, and if we were up there it would be like, oh, I can go in here to the library and then
Well, that's the thing, is that I can go to any library, check out books. Some libraries are in different computer systems, so I might have to they might have to enter my information, my contact information and everything to get me into their system.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I go to Stamford, which is about as far as I can get from where I live and still be in Connecticut, I can check out a book there, and then when I'm done with it, I can return it here in town, and no worries.
That's cool.
Of course, Stamford's library doesn't have a for such a large, and it's a fairly large town for Connecticut, and it has city, and it has pretty good tax base, but their library is not very extensive. I don't know. Emily says, I think I'll continue the series. I don't know how quickly I'll pick up the second book, though. Struggle of a Mood Reader. Can relate. And Kristen says, chat Roxy, like Rock Lobster. Down, 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 down. Rock Lobster. Marie says, I love when libraries do things like that. Ours does some fun summer bingo events with free books, etc. Yeah, different libraries have different, whatchamacallits, summer reading programs for adults and others. Oh, a luck. Says Murray. Oops. I'm trying to pick it up so I can show it again. Oh, I love the chicken stickers, says Wyoming. If you remember, I raised chickens. I have 46. Oh, wow. Those chickens probably like to have a good time. Emily says, I found out recently that as a Maryland resident, I can get a library card for every county in the state. Nice. See, the other thing that's nice about Connecticut is we don't have to use multiple library cards. They just put it all on the same card. So it's like you're not like, the only reason you might have to do that is some of the academic libraries, like as a Connecticut resident, taxpaying Connecticut resident, I can use the state university libraries. I think if I wanted to use the University of Connecticut library, I would have to pay extra. And for $35 a year, I have limited borrowing privileges at the private university here in Middletown. So as just because that's like a good neighbor policy they have. Emily says, so do you have to apply in person though? Oh, so some of you do have to apply in person though, so I got to make a road trip. Oh. Well, Maryland's not the biggest state in the union, so it's not like, that's one of the things we like to do is because we go to the different libraries and sometimes we'll see parts of the state we didn't necessarily, think of. Just have a reason to go there, even if it's just kind of an excuse. So, yes, I meant to mention that, and I had forgotten. So that's going to be a fun thing we're doing, hopefully. Now, the books. Now, like I said, I didn't manage to finish chapter 1 of Golden Fire, Silver Ice. I did read enough to establish that our leading lady, Anna Maria, when she was in college, she wanted some extra money, so she and her aunts got together and they started selling tamales to people. And that actually, it was originally just supposed to earn them some extra money, and it actually ended up becoming a business. So they do tamales and other kinds of catering. So that's as far as I've gotten. We haven't met the dude yet. Another comment from Murray. You can make it an adventure and find local little free libraries too. I have been known to do that. Okay, we got Lover from the Sea by Bonnie Drake. So far, she's pulled the guy out of the ocean. She didn't exactly pull the guy out of the ocean. There's a hurricane on Nantucket, because it's kind of known for those. And she's out. She sees something from her window, and she goes out to the beach because she thought she saw a person. And she's watching him like he's clutching a piece of wood and bobbing up and down. And she knows she can't possibly rescue him. She's like, she can't go into the water to get him. But she's there to monitor the situation. And when he gets washed up on shore, she's going to take him to the doctor in town because he's completely out of it. And, well, she does manage to get him to, walk to her car, but then her car gets stuck in the mud. So she's like, okay, plan B. She takes him to her house. She disrobes him entirely, like in a clinical way, gets him under a electric blanket and so on. And he's just still continues to be out of it. And so she spends a fair amount of time in the first chapter trying to figure out, what's his deal? What does he do for a living? How is he so handsome? How did that happen? And it turns out that she is an advice columnist, which made me laugh because I just finished reading Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden, which is about a somewhat unhinged advice columnist. Anyway, so far he hasn't woken up. Well, actually, she's just gone back into the bedroom because she fell asleep on the couch because she wanted him to rest undisturbed and everything. So she fell asleep on the couch, and she goes into the bedroom to see how he's doing, and he's not there. And that's where the chapter ends. I mean, presumably he just stepped outside for a minute or went to the bathroom or something, but we don't know because that's where the chapter ends. So far, it's just been her perving on this unconscious dude. And never as strangers. Which one was this? I don't know which is which. Stormy's like, pick up the pace. Oh, okay. This is the one where she has the stepsister she doesn't like. It turns out that there's like stepsisters because her mother died when she was 9, and then her dad was raising her, and then he married a lady, and then her dad died, and then her mother married a dude. And so the stepsister is the dude's daughter. So it's like there's like absolutely no blood relation between them, and they don't get along. They don't have anything in common. And anyway, so far it's just like her sister's boyfriend has shown up, and they've sat in the kitchen eating chicken salad sandwiches together. And this is her sister, I mean her stepsister. And I don't know. Her stepsister is 20, she's 25, and the dude is 35. And I think the difference between 25 and 35 is a bit more acceptable than the difference between 35 and 20. And this is the one where apparently he's going to, like, do some kind of fake relationship thing. I'm guessing it's to get the stepsister off his back, as it were. So far, so good. So far, all of them have been fine. Even the one that probably is going to end up sailing across the room. Not so far. This is the, yeah. Oh no, this is the Jane Castle one, where he's trying to help her figure out who's stealing inventory from the stereo and video store. I guess it's a chain where she works. So far, so good. It has that kind of Amanda Quick quality, because, I mean, that's the same writer, but it's a contemporary instead of an historical. But it's got that kind of bantery kind of thing. Okay, Restoring Love. This is the one with the volatile real estate developer, and the one that Marie said was probably going to go sailing across the room. Well, it hasn't yet, mostly because they haven't met yet, but I'm not sure how this is going to work. It's Restoring Love. It is not a second chance. She's a widow, a young widow. She got married when she was in college to another guy, to a guy who was like her same age. They had a baby, and now her husband died about a year earlier. And she's just like she wants to be an architect. She had been studying to be an architect when they got married and everything. And she still wants to be an architect. So she's getting a job as a secretary in an architecture firm while she pursues that academically. Also, this dude, also an architect, but different book. And then finally, Stages of Love. She's a playwright named Lee, L-E-E. The theater that accepted her play, and they're very excited to make it, assumed she was a dude. She shows up, and they're very much like, oh, what? A woman can write plays? Like, the guy who's going to direct the play, who is the male main character, is like, assumes that this is some sort of prank. And he's like, well... She's like, women do write plays, and he says, but not like this. Your male characters are more developed than your female characters. It's a strong political drama and everything. It's just like, and of course they've arranged for her to come to Manhattan while the play is being put together off Broadway, and they're providing her with room and board, but they did all of this with the assumption that she was a dude, and so the room and board is with him, and so, and she's like, I don't care, it's fine with me. So I take it you're kind of starting to clock out mentally?
I didn't sleep very good last night, so I'm just starting to get the yawns now, because I didn't get to bed probably till about 3 o'clock because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I slept okay. I'm not. I am a little tired. I haven't eaten yet though. So, yeah, if you want to, duck out, it's just about the top of the hour. I thought another 45-minute sprint, and then
I might dock out at this one and like maybe see you guys in the chat or something.
Okay, well, let's do a 45-minute sprint, which will get us a quarter to the hour. And that'll be the final sprint, and then we'll wrap up. And I think I will keep reading because If it turns out that this book is like a no-go, I'd rather find out sooner than later, you know.
Yeah.
And then we can all take bets on how many of these books I'll read before our next meeting. So we're going until quarter till the hour. So let's do the banner. And Stormy might not be. Stormy's going to duck out. So let's see. How do I edit this? Whoops. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me. If you want to come back, feel free to do that, or just be in the comments, whatever you want, obviously. See you later.
Yeah.
And we're back. It is 20 minutes to the hour, so we just had a 45-minute sprint. I see, as you may remember, Stormy was starting to get a little snoozy. And so, and now I'm also getting a little bit yawny, so there we go. As you can see, I have an artist's rendering of something that I did not physically throw the book. I was saving that for on camera. But let's get caught up on some comments. I see that Kristen successfully linked NetGalley to her Kindle. Let's see, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Nice. Emily, I'm like, whoops, what did I just do? Okay, I'm not used to the, this is a new laptop. I'm not quite used to it yet. Let me remove the banner. There we go. So Emily was agreeing. Nice, Kristen. Emily says, I have several arcs to get to. Always read on my Kindle. I only have one arc right now that I need to get to, and it's I usually read those on my Kindle, but sometimes I'll read them on my laptop, depending on, how things are going. Kristen says, the book has been thrown. He had mangled wrists. Well, he had mangled something. And Jill says, I started an Amish bookshop courtship. And again, I'm trying to turn all of these words into just one big word. An Amish courtship. An Amish bookshop courtship by Patricia Johns, and read 54 pages. Nice. And she's saying hi to Roxy and love the sticker. Where did it go? Yes, oops, I should have. I forgot to make myself big. Yes, it's the chicken reading the book. And it says cluck if you like reading. Let's see. And Anita got to 78% in Newlyweds. Newlyweds Can Be Knocked Off. Nice picture, reminds me of the Precious Moments figurines. Whoops. Yeah, if they throw books. Whoops. There we go. She's supposed to be a rag doll. That's why she has those seams. Thanks for the sprint sock, says Anita. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I hope to see you soon. And thanks to everybody in the chat. Have a good night. Be safe. So Anita is gone. Okay, so I started off with 6 books. Now, which ones do we think I threw? Let's see. We have A Lover from the Sea by Bonnie Drake, aka Barbara Delinsky, and she is there we go. This is the one where the guy washed up on the beach and she got him into her house, and she's just like, they haven't like formally met yet because he's been unconscious the whole time. She's been trying to figure out, she's trying to see if she can tell just by looking at him, like what he does for a living and that kind of thing. So basically she's just perved on an unconscious man for a while. So that's this book. Did it stay? Did it go? Have I not read past the first chapter? Relentless Adversary by Jane Castle. This is the one where he is helping her track down a thief in her an inventory discrepancy that may be due to thievery in the video and stereo stores she manages. Or I guess it's a chain she works for, a local chain or something. I'm not sure, excuse me. Did it stay? Did it go? Have I not read any further? Restoring Love is the one where she is a widow. He is a real estate developer, and he thinks, what is it that they said, that nobody makes a fool out of him, and she made a fool out of him or something. Anyway, stay, go, haven't read any further. Never as Strangers. This is the one where she has been chit-chatting with her stepsister, kind of stepsister she doesn't get along with her stepsister's boyfriend. Did I read further? Did I not read further? Did I read further and throw it across the room? Let me know. Golden Fire Silver Ice. She has a catering company. She started out just making tamales in her spare time, and now she's has a full-fledged catering company. This is the one where I hadn't finished the first chapter at the end of the last sprint. So, did I finish the first chapter? Did I read further? Did it go for an unscheduled flight? And finally, Stages of Love. This is the one where, oh my gosh, women write plays too? Who knew? Who knew? Did I get any further with it? Did it go sailing? What happened? Anybody want to hazard a guess? I don't know that anybody's here. There's like one person. It's showing me that one person is here, but sometimes that's inaccurate. I am going to let that one person can see the deal. I did not read any further in this, but I will. This, I did not read any further in this, and I will. This one, it turns out our brash maybe was thrown. Which one was maybe? At least one is flying, says Marie. Well, yeah, that's why I have the picture. Okay. There, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. Where'd you go? Yeah, I'm still not used to the layout on this keyboard's a little different, and it's giving me a slightly different version of StreamYard that I'm not used to, so I'm not sure what's going on. You flew! Okay, I flew, yes. Restoring Love. Okay, it turns out that this guy who this is the one this went flying. This went flying because, well, it didn't go flying literally because I wanted to do that on camera. He is a real estate developer, and he's like, you made a fool out of me. And it's like she made a fool out of him because he assumed something about her that turned out not to be true. And and he's like, you should have, it's all your fault, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he's just really unpleasant. And it turns out he has a slight rough New York accent. So more and more, he was reminding me of the President of the United States. And I don't really want to be thinking about the President of the United States when I am reading a romance. Make of that what you will. Let flying. Okay, Relentless Adversary. I have not read any more of it, but I will. Same goes with Never as Strangers. And Lover from the Sea. Golden, wait, what was it? Stages of Love. Stages of Love is oh my gosh, a woman wrote a political play? How can that be? And she's like, it's not political. And then she describes a play that is very much political. It's just not proper. She's like, she associates political plays. She's thinking he meant propaganda, which it's not. And he's like, no, if it had been propaganda, it wouldn't be a good play. And it's a good play. It does need some improvements, though. And I actually read more of this. I'm really enjoying it. They're getting into he's directing the play, and they're getting into a very collaborative mood, and they have these creative differences that they work through, and it's fun. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. At one point, he's like, I'm going to work. And she's like, oh, because they're sharing a place because he's putting her up. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I'll go upstairs and work and you stay downstairs and work. And then she goes downstairs to get something, and she realizes he's not working, he's watching a baseball game, and she's like, why didn't you ask me to watch the baseball game? And he says, oh, you like baseball? And she's like, yes, and beer as well. And I was like, well, there's beer in the fridge. So they end up watching baseball together. It's kind of fun. Let's see. Good choice, says Mari. I thought so. Okay, so yeah, this one's actually a lot of fun, and their relationship. I mean, they get off to a rocky start, but they do, like I said, they're having creative differences, but it's like they're working through them. They talk through them, and they kind of. So I'm kind of enjoying that. This Golden Fire, Silver Ice by Marissa Zavala. This is the one that I hadn't had a chance to finish the first chapter. I finished the first chapter, but here's what happens is she's catering a party he's attending, and he kind of starts coming on to her as she's trying to cater this party. And when she just like puts him down the way she'd put down any guy who was making unwanted advances, he like grabs her arm and tells her she has to be cautious because, nobody insults me and gets away with it. And it was just like, no, I'm not dealing with these people. So I stuck with these 4. How many do people think I will actually get read before next week? For I will be here next week. Let's see. For reference, last week I did this, not last week, the week before last. I had, of the 6, one went flying, one I decided I didn't want to read for now. And I finished 3, and then I finished the 4th during last week's sprint. Oh, bye book, says Mari. So that's what I did last time. I read 3 and DNF'd 1 and chose not to read 1, and then a 4th one that I read during last week's sprints. So I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to finish all 4 of them before next week? Will any more go flying as I get more into them? Could happen. I don't know. If you want to place your bets, feel free to do so. I got to figure out what I want to eat. I didn't really eat lunch because breakfast was a little on the. My neighbors are getting up to something. They're up to no good. That's the neighbors who, when they arrive, they slam 5 car doors multiple times before they go in the house, which is especially annoying when you're expecting a delivery. And they don't slam them all at once. It's like sequential slamming. It's like 5 minutes of car doors slamming. Kristen says, I'm going to get ready for lunch with the fam. See you, tea and biscuits, chat later. Probably, yes. Probably. And in the comments, obviously, not on screen. And yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to decide what I want to have. Breakfast was pretty substantial and fairly late, so I haven't eaten yet, and I'm starting to get hungry. And what I really, really want to do is just cook up a mess of spaghetti noodles and toss them with some green pesto and just eat that until I explode. That's where my head is at. I think I could probably talk Mom Marionette into that. Well, probably not the exploding part, but she might be interested in the green spaghetti. Unless she ate. She might have eaten already. We shall see. Anyway, thank you all for joining me today. And Mari says, that sounds delicious. I know, it's just like I'm sitting here thinking about it. And the more I think about it, the more I want to do that. Yum, enjoy, says Kristen. See you later in the chat. Bye. Yeah, so I am appreciative. Thank you all for joining me today, or for watching it back later, if that is in fact what you were doing. And thanks especially to Stormy for joining me on camera. Thanks for the sprint, says Kristen. You're welcome. Always a pleasure. And I will see you back next week, Midweek Motivation, 2 p.m. Eastern, next Tuesday. Excuse me, not next Tuesday. There was not a change. I just misspoke. It'll be Wednesday, and I'll let you know. Oh, Storm says bye. So she was actually managed to stay awake during that sprint so she could be in the comments. And I'll let you know how Mom Marionette got along with the passport to Connecticut libraries. And also if I actually made it to the town recycling center or transfer station or dump or whatever you want to call it. So those will be the exciting updates next week. And I'll probably see other people in various sprints around town. I'll be in the comments if nothing else. So thank you all again for joining me, and I will see you in a week. Oh, and Mari says thanks for the hangout in the sprints. Thanks for joining me. Bye.